NHL Draft Busts featuring Alexandre Daigle. This is a new series on my channel on NHL Draft Busts where I discuss the biggest draft busts in NHL history, why they didn't pan out, and what could have been done to prevent them from being a bust. The very first episode of NHL Draft Busts is on Alexandre Daigle, who was drafted first overall by the Ottawa Senators in the 1993 NHL Draft. He was a highly touted prospect and was considered one of the most promising young talents in hockey at the time of his draft. The hype surrounding Alexandre Daigle leading up to the 1993 NHL entry draft was substantial. He was widely regarded as one of the most highly touted and anticipated prospects in NHL history at that time. Daigle had an outstanding junior hockey career in the QMJHL, scoring 137 points in just 53 games with the Victoriaville Tigers, demonstrating his offensive prowess and playmaking abilities. Daigle was seen as a versatile forward who could play center or wing. He possessed excellent puck handling skills, a high hockey IQ, and the ability to score goals and create scoring opportunities for his teammates. Alexandre Daigle was selected by the Ottawa Senators as the first overall pick in the 1993 draft. His selection by the Senators was a significant moment in the franchise's history. At the time, the Ottawa Senators were a relatively new expansion team, and Daigle was expected to be the cornerstone who could help establish the team in the league. Daigle made his NHL debut with the Ottawa Senators during the 1993-94 season. Then he played with the team for parts of 5 seasons afterwards. While he showed flashes of his talent and offensive skill during his time with the Senators, and did not meet the lofty expectations that had been set for him. In total, Daigle played 301 games for the Ottawa Senators, scoring 108 goals and tallying 129 assists for a total of 237 points. Despite his potential and initial excitement surrounding his rival in Ottawa, he was unable to be the franchise player that they had hoped for. Alexandre Daigle was traded to the Philadelphia Flyers in 1998 in exchange for Vinny Prospal and Pat Falloon. This marked the end of Alexandre Daigle's tenure with the Ottawa Senators. Daigle was traded twice in 1999, first from the Philadelphia Flyers to the Tampa Bay Lightning, then later that year was traded by the Lightning to the New York Rangers. On March 11, 2000, Alexandre Daigle was traded to the Edmonton Oilers in exchange for another forward, Marius Cherkasky. Throughout his NHL career, Alexandre Daigle only recorded 327 points in 616 games and was a great disappointment relative to his draft position. Why is Alexandre Daigle a bust? Alexandre Daigle is often regarded as a bust in context of NHL history due to the significant gap between the high expectation and the actual results of his professional career. Daigle had unrealistically high expectations of him entering the NHL, was touted as one of the most highly skilled and promising prospects in NHL history before he was even drafted. Being chosen with the top pick comes with immense pressure and the expectations that the player will become a franchise cornerstone and future star. It certainly didn't help that players such as Chris Pronger and Paul Kariya, who were picked after him, went on to have highly successful and impactful careers. Despite showing flashes of talent, Daigle struggled with consistency throughout his NHL career. Daigle was primarily known for his offensive skill, but he did not contribute much on the defensive side of the game either. This limited his value as a complete player. There were also some reports of off-the-ice issues, including a perceived lack of work ethic and dedication to the game, which may have hindered his development. What could have been done to prevent him from being a bust? The hype surrounding Alexandre Daigle was unfair to him, and it was almost impossible for him to live up to that hype unless he was performing up to that level that Eric Lindros was. It certainly didn't help that he went to a relatively new franchise that was terrible and was looking for him to be that piece that jump-started the franchise, but he was just not that type of player. Alexandre Daigle is the victim of draft hype and getting drafted by a bad team that didn't surround him with enough talent to succeed as a young player, which made him the biggest bust in NHL history.